The days that followed were a blur of pain and confusion for Ifem. She couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't focus on her work. Her heart felt like it had been ripped out of her chest, leaving a gaping hole that refused to heal. She vacillated between anger, sadness, and disbelief, unable to comprehend how Tunde of all people could have done this to her. She replayed every moment they had shared in her mind, searching for signs she might have missed, clues that could have warned her. But there was nothing. Tunde had played his role perfectly, and she had fallen for it, hook, line, and sinker. Ijeoma, true to her word, stayed by Ifem's side through it all. She was there to listen, to offer words of comfort, and to remind Ifem that she was not alone. "You need to let yourself feel this, Ifem," Ijeoma said one evening as they sat together in Ifem's apartment. "Don't try to bottle it up. Let it out. Cry if you need to. Scream if you need to. But don't keep it inside." And so Ifem allowed herself to grieve. She cried until her tears ran dry, screamed into her pillow until her throat was raw. She felt the pain of betrayal deep in her bones. But slowly, she began to understand that this pain was part of the healing process. As the weeks passed, Ifem moved through the stages of grief. There was denial. She couldn't believe that Tunde had done this to her. She kept hoping that there was some explanation, that he would come to her with the truth, that this was all some horrible mistake. But then came anger. Anger at Tunde for lying to her, for using her, for betraying her trust. Anger at herself for being so naive, for letting her guard down, for believing in a fairy tale that didn't exist. She wanted to confront Tunde, to scream at him, to demand answers, but Ijeoma advised against it. "He's not worth it, Ifem. Don't give him the satisfaction of knowing how much he hurt you. The best revenge is to move on and live your best life." And so Ifem resisted the urge to confront him. Instead, she focused on herself, on her business, on rebuilding the life that Tunde had disrupted. It wasn't easy. There were days when the pain felt overwhelming, when she questioned her worth, when she wondered if she would ever trust anyone again. But there were also days when she felt a glimmer of hope, a small but growing light at the end of the tunnel. She started taking care of herself again, eating better, exercising, and finding joy in the little things. She poured her energy into her work, using her passion for fashion as a way to channel her pain into something productive. Her designs became bolder, more expressive, reflecting the emotional journey she was on. Dearest soul seekers, grief comes in waves. How do you allow yourself to feel the pain without letting it consume you? Do you pass through all the stages of grief? And does time truly heals all wounds? Or is healing more about the choices we make in how we process the grief? One day, as Ifem sat in her shop, sketching out a new design, Ijeoma walked in with a bright smile on her face. "Guess what?" she said, practically bouncing with excitement. Ifem looked up, curious. "What's got you so happy?" "I got you a spot at the Lagos Fashion Week showcase," Ijeoma exclaimed, thrusting a flyer into Ifem's hands. Ifem's eyes widened in shock. "Are you serious? How did you manage that?" Ijeoma grinned, shrugging modestly. "Let's just say I pulled a few strings. You deserve this, Ifem. Your work is incredible, and it is time the world sees it." Ifem stared at the flyer, her heart pounding with excitement. This was the opportunity she had been waiting for, a chance to show her talent on a larger stage, to prove to herself and the world that she could make it in Lagos, despite everything that had happened. But, what if I'm not ready? Ifem asked, doubt creeping into her voice. Ijoma shook her head firmly. You are more than ready. Don't let fear hold you back. This is your moment, Ifem. Take it. With Ijoma's encouragement, Ifem threw herself into preparing for the show. She worked tirelessly, pouring her heart and soul into every piece she created. Each design told a story of love, of loss, of resilience. And as she worked, she felt herself growing stronger, more confident, more determined to succeed. The day of the show arrived, and Ifem stood backstage, nervously adjusting the models' outfits. The air was thick with anticipation, the sound of bustling activity and chatter filling the room. But amidst the chaos, Ifem felt a sense of calm wash over her. She had come a long way since her first day in Lagos, and now she was ready to show the world what she was made of. As the models trotted down the runway, wearing her designs with grace and poise, Ifem watched from the sidelines, her heart swelling with pride. The applause was defending, the crowd's admiration evident in their cheers and whistles. When the final model walked out, the lights dimmed, and Ifem was called to the stage to take a bow. As she stepped onto the runway, the spotlight shining down on her, Ifem felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. She had done it. She had made it in Lagos, despite the challenges, the heartbreak, and the doubts. She had turned her pain into something beautiful, something that could inspire others. But even more, she had found herself. She had discovered her strength, her resilience, and her worth. And as she stood there, basking in the applause, she knew that she was ready to face whatever the future held. In the months that followed the fashion show, Ifem's business flourished. She gained new clients, made connections in the fashion industry, and her brand began to gain recognition, not just in Lagos, but beyond. She was finally living the dream she had envisioned when she left Oka for Lagos. But while her professional life was thriving, Ifem remained cautious when it came to matters of the heart. The scars from Tunde's betrayal were still there, and she wasn't sure if she was ready to open herself up to love again. That was until she met Jachi Ma. Jachi was a regular customer at her shop, always polite and respectful, with an easygoing charm that made him easy to talk to. He was a lawyer, successful in his own right, but there was something different about him. He wasn't flashy or overconfident like Tunde had been. Instead, Jachi was patient, thoughtful, and kind. One evening, after picking up a suit he had ordered, Jachi lingered in the shop, making small talk. Ifem, you've really outdone yourself with this suit, he said, admiring the craftsmanship. I have never seen such attention to detail. Ifem smiled, appreciating the compliment. Thank you, Jachi. I'm glad you like it. Jachi hesitated for a moment, as if gathering his courage, before speaking again. I've been thinking, would you like to have dinner with me sometime? No pressure, just a casual meal. Ifem felt her heart speak a bit. It had been a long time since anyone had asked her out, and the thought of dating again made her nervous. But there was something genuine about Jachi, something that made her feel safe. She nodded, her smile softening. I would like that, Jachi. Dinner sounds nice. Their first date was simple but enjoyable. They went to a quiet restaurant where they talked about their lives, their work, and their experiences in Lagos. Jachi listened intently as Ifem shared her story, never interrupting or prying too deeply. He was easy to talk to, and Ifem found herself opening up to him in a way she hadn't with anyone else since Tunde. As the weeks passed, Ifem and Jachi continued to see each other. Their relationship grew slowly, built on a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Jachi never pressured her, never rushed her. He was patient, understanding that Ifem needed time to heal. One evening, as they walked along the beach, watching the sunset over the water, Jachi turned to her with a serious expression. Ifem, I know you've been hurt before, and I don't want to push you, but I care about you a lot. I just want you to know that I'm here whenever you are ready. Ifem looked into his eyes, seeing the sincerity there. She felt a warmth spread through her, a sense of peace she hadn't felt in a long time. Thank you, Jachi, she said, her voice filled with emotion. I care about you too, and I think I'm ready to take a chance again. Jachi smiled, his hand gently squeezing hers. Then let's take this one step at a time. No rush, no pressure. Just us getting to know each other. As they continued their walk, Ifem felt a weight lift off her shoulders. She knew that love was a risk, that there were no guarantees. But with Jachi, she felt something different. She felt hope. A hope that maybe this time things would be different. Dearest soul seekers, who else is rooting for this Ifem ship to sail? Ifem and Jachi dream of building a life together. What does your ideal future look like? And who do you see by your side? As the months turned into a year, Ifem's relationship with Jachi blossomed into something deep and meaningful. With him, she didn't have to pretend to be strong all the time. She could be vulnerable, open, and honest, and he accepted her for who she was. Jachi encouraged Ifem to continue growing her business, and with his help, she expanded her brand. She opened a second shop, hired more staff, and even started offering fashion workshops to aspiring designers. Her shop, which had once been a small, struggling business, was now thriving with customers from all over Lagos and beyond. Dear soul seekers, Jachi's steady presence helped Ifem face her fears. Who in your life gives you the courage to face your challenges head on? Can you recommend this story to them, please? But Ifem's growth wasn't just professional. She had also grown emotionally and mentally. She had learned to set boundaries, to trust her instincts, and to prioritize her well-being. She no longer felt the need to prove herself to anyone. She knew her worth, and she wasn't afraid to demand the respect she deserved. One day, as she stood in her new shop, watching the customers browse through her designs, Ifem felt a deep sense of gratitude. Lagos had tested her in ways she never could have imagined, but it had also made her stronger. It had taught her that life was full of ups and downs, that dreams didn't come easy, but they were worth fighting for. And as for love, Ifem had learned that true love wasn't about grand gestures or perfect words. It was about consistency, patience, and trust. It was about finding someone who accepted you for who you were, flaws and all, and who was willing to stand by you through the good times and the bad. As she reflected on her journey, Ifem felt a sense of peace. She had come to Lagos with nothing but a dream, and now she was living that dream. She had faced heartbreak, disappointment, and betrayal, but she had come out stronger on the other side. And she knew that whatever the future held, she was ready to face it head on. In the end, Lagos had blessed her with more than she had ever hoped for. It had given her the strength to overcome her challenges, the courage to pursue her dreams, and the love she never knew she needed. And as she stood there, surrounded by the fruits of her labor, Ifem knew that she had truly made it in Lagos, not because of the success or the recognition, but because she had found herself, and in doing so, she had found true happiness, living the life she had always dreamed of, a life she had fought hard to build. The success she now enjoyed was not just about the fame or the money. It was about the journey, the lessons learned, and the strength she had found within herself. Dearest soul seekers, do you think Ifem would be the person she is today without the struggles she faced? Do you believe challenges shape who we are, or do we shape ourselves? Despite the whirlwind of new opportunities, Ifem remained grounded. She never forgot where she came from or the people who had helped her along the way. She continued to nurture her friendship with Ijeoma, who had been her rock during her darkest times. And she made sure to stay connected with her family back in Oka, regularly sending money home and visiting when she could. As time passed, the pain of Tunde's betrayal faded, replaced by a sense of empowerment. She no longer saw herself as a naive girl who had been duped by a smooth talker. Instead, she viewed herself as a woman who had risen above the challenges life had thrown at her, stronger and wiser for the experience. As she looked out at the city, Ifem smiled to herself. Lagos had tested her, pushed her to her limits, and in doing so, it had revealed her true strength. She was no longer the girl who had arrived from Oka with nothing but a few naira and a head full of dreams. She was a successful fashion designer, a businesswoman, and a survivor. And as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Ifem knew that her story was far from over. Lagos had given her the platform to rise, and now the world was hers for the taking. She was ready to continue her journey, to chase new dreams, and to conquer whatever challenges came her way. Because if there was one thing she had learned, it was that in Lagos, anything was possible if you had the courage to believe in yourself. With a contented sigh, she raised a thumbs up to the city that had tested her. shaped her, and ultimately set her free. To Lagos, she whispered, and to the endless possibilities ahead. Dear soul seekers, I really hope that you enjoyed the story. Ifem's story is one of resilience, love, and growth. What part of her journey resonates with you the most? If you could give Ifem one piece of advice for the future, what would it be? And how would you apply that advice to your own life? If you have enjoyed Ifem's journey, stay tuned because we have more inspiring African stories coming your way. Tales of courage, love, and the unbreakable spirit of our people. You won't want to miss what's next. Thank you for being a part of this story and for your continued support. Your love for African stories is what keeps this channel alive. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on the next great African story. Until next time, keep believing in the powers of stories. This is Africraft Odyssey, reminding you that every story has the power to change the world, one heart at a time. See you in the next story. Bye-bye.